behind me, most medical people and British people, and they really know what they're doing. I just want to thank them. They truly gave their lives in terms of the time and all of the incredible work they've done over the years and arriving at have now most respected people in the country. Today, I'm pleased to announce that I'll be signing an executive order to resell marijuana from a Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 controlled substance with legitimate medical uses. We have people begging for me to do this. People that are, for decades, this has been requested by American patients suffering from extreme pain, curable diseases, aggressive cancers, seizure disorders, including numerous veterans with service-related older Americans who live with chronic medical problems that severely degrade their quality. It's so really, I can't tell you, I think I probably have received more on this, on doing what we're doing. I don't think I received any calls with this reclassification. That 82% will help many of those patients live a far better life. F. Kennedy Jr. is doing a fantastic job. Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, Dr. Mehmet Oz, Director of the National Institute of Health, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, and the Director of the National Institute on Drug Abuse, Dr. Nora Valkow, as well as Dr. Ilana Braun from...
Just look at these people. You see these hats, they got the robes. Forgot who he is and who this Abraham Lincoln. Anybody could sit here and read off a paper, but what are your thoughts on it? Look how they making sure he read that paper. Everybody. These are the handlers. In my opinion, this is alleged. Trump signs order reclassifying marijuana.
The Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, Duke University's Dr. David Casseret, the National Commander of the American Legion, Dan Wiley, and my friend Howard Kessler. Howard, how are you feeling? I'm telling you, he looks better than he did 20 years ago. But I don't want to go through what you went through to get there, right? But it looks like you're doing great. I'm proud of you. I want to emphasize that the order I am about to sign is not the legalization, or it doesn't legalize marijuana in any way, shape, or form. In no way sanctions its use as a recreational drug. It has nothing to do with it. Just legitimate uses, but can also do irreversible damage and never, if you look at some of the damage that can be caused, wreck lives, and if it's abused, it's never safe to use powerful controlled substances and recreational. Look, illegal and unregulated drugs, very, very bad thing. So I've always children, don't take drugs, no drinking, no smoking, and just stay away from drugs. I have been, they would look at me and they said, stop saying that. I would say it every time I looked at it practically. Young Americans are especially at risk, so unless a drug is recommended by a doctor for medical reasons, at the same time, the facts compel the federal government to recognize that marijuana can be medical applications when carefully administered. In some cases, they cause tremendous problems. This can do it in a much...
Drugs can be manipulated and overly used, aka being abused. Addictions can be accumulated during that course of abuse. And some people get hooked. But as far as opioids, nearly as harmful as marijuana, especially when marijuana is grown or how it used to be authentic. Nowadays it's all fabricated in laboratories and everybody's experimenting on it. These dispensaries are doing whatever they're doing with it, charging whatever they charge for it. Just what was this, September, October? They're talking about banning the seeds because of this specific reason. Lock and control. Hemp products, people use marijuana for multiple reasons. It's just another way for them to control what's going on, in my opinion. It's like, really though, you're already stimulating to the states, certain states that is, are profiting. The states had a nice little new income for a while, and then they start, they get greedy, they mess things up. It's just what happens, is how it goes. But one thing he's not going to do or speak on is how he really feel about what's really going on, about those shipments they took from Venezuela and all of this ISIS stuff, the you on this team or you on that team, all of the division that's going on. To me, is like, dude, this really what you got time to focus on, and the state of this country is trickling down as quick as it possibly can on a downward spiral. It's not going to talk about these mass shootings that just happened over the weekend. It's not going to talk about the price of living, the mass layoffs, the new so-called essential workers. Certain industries are not becoming main professions, meaning you're not going to get as paid as much as you used to. Certain professions, certain industries, right? Teachers, doctors. I'm not sure what the list is, but it's pretty lengthy. Coming into this new year, it's not going to be a professional profession anymore. It's going to be considered uh, non-essential, which is really crazy, very, very crazy. But I really didn't get on here for that. I just think that I wanted to share the news because I partake in it. But this is another sign for me to know to leave it alone, period. Especially when they doing all this new stuff with it and they're putting it into the laws and they want to vote and do this. It's no longer something safe that I want to partake in unless I'm growing my own, which I do have thousands of seeds. And I do grow, whatever, right? You spend time learning, you spend time failing, you spend time achieving as well. So, through my trial and error, I've got a pretty good green thumb. I know exactly what I'm doing and how to do it. So that doesn't really affect me or bother me as much as it may do some other people who this is their peace of mind. This is their little gateway escape. But anyway, I'm not here to advocate for it because at the end of the day, anything that alters your mind isn't a good thing at all, especially when people alter their minds with friends or family or whoever, and they don't never come back to that right state of mind. With the lacing, the lacing, eyes get big because people be dipping little stuff in your reefer. They dip little stuff in your drinks. You know about the Diddy, maybe he did and maybe he didn't, but it's going on, right? It's just not a good situation to put yourself in, not at all. Kind of glad they really want to play with it and mess it up because after a while, everybody's going to wake up and just be sober, deal with the stuff as is and take it as it is. This holiday season, I really wanted to share this topic that we all know about, that we all grew on, Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin. I know we all didn't seen that movie once or twice in our life. If hold on real quick. I'm getting tired of seeing all of these. Quick, I'm gonna pull it up. If you was in the 80s, 70s, early 90s, you know about Home Alone. I'm not sure about you new Gen Z kids. Y'all don't have. Nowadays, it's all demonic, a little bit of spirituality within our lives. It wasn't forced on us as much as it is nowadays. But nevertheless, it's always been going on. Like with these churches, you hear what's going on with the Catholics, the LDS, Latter Day Saints, even the Islam. They marrying young, 14-year-old wives. Like, come here, shit weird. It's creepy, dog. But everything is starting to be exposed, Check this out. Sorry, but I was like, man, these Hollywood kids, they be out here, they be off the stuff, they be going through stuff. Put in the spotlight, and they get took down real quick. And it's like, man, you never really know what's going on with them. Some of them can talk. Like I said, it's the year of, not the year, but the age of the darkness, where when people try to speak their truth, they're being put in the dark, they're being took out of here, whatever, right? They're being compromised from their truths. So you got to do like 50 and documentary out, and you gotta do what you got to do, right? I'm not saying what he's doing is right. I'm not saying what he's doing is wrong. I don't approve of it, but it's not my situation. At the end of the day, like everything is going to be exposed because nothing is in the dark. Everything comes to the light. We are like children. Even if you don't want to be or you don't partake, our light is going to shine in your darkness. God, and when the devil started trying to become God and compete with God, he was sent into his own little area, and he doesn't shine like God shines. And God's going to deal with him. He's just slow to wrath because he created him as well. He don't want to destroy his kid. The devil is his child as well. But nevertheless, he made his choice. He made his decision. And he's going to have to deal with those consequences. Just like a lot of these entertainers, they're going to deal with their consequences as well. And they want you to be a part of their misery and their sufferings when their time comes. Greatest is true. You got to really be hearing what these people saying, especially when they having interviews, because they're going to slip up and say a little bit. Video together really, really quick, just about 50, all of this stuff that I'm talking about, and everybody who's involved in it. This year, a lot of people been silenced, right? Like Jay-Z, y'all know he had a case on him about touching a little girl, and all of a sudden we don't hear anything else. Fat Joe recently, Neo, and I got a clip of 50 Cent trying to hush about the sexual assault allegations. That's why he don't mess with Tony Yayo anymore. They was at Hot 97, and they was like, yeah, and like I said about Fat Joe, right? Fat Joe was like, he wanted to off Yayo, and then 50 was like, it wouldn't be a bad idea, if you got rid of dude or whatever. I'll be kind of feeling the way about it, but it ain't a bad idea. And he was like, why you don't let him speak on interviews? He's like, because I don't like what he be saying. Like, dude be basically really quick so y'all can check it out. But once he said that about the sexual allegations, then they hurried up and went to Fat Joe. And I'm like, okay. And he was talking about what Fat Joe said he would have did. He didn't get his act together or whatever. Me having insight and discernment, only thing I heard was he's a liability to what we got going on. The same stuff that everybody got going on. Epstein, Diddy, 50, all of them doing the same stuff. It's no coincidence they all catching the SA allegations, right? And I say allegations because I'm not a victim of these atrocious acts, and nor do it's like how the victims of Diddy and they was trying to speak. I believe they were silenced and shut up. So I can't speak on them. I don't. I just pray for them to have some world is really about, especially with Ice Spice. I never really watched SpongeBob. Whatever, right? I'm not knocking it. A lot of people watch it. But I know they got a new movie coming. I'm not going to go see it. Just like I'm not see the Diddy documentary. It's a lot of shit about it. I just don't care if I hear y'all talk about it and I care about that or not. But anyway, the way they're conditioning the kids, the youth, it's like what Bob Marley said. They don't care about the youth. It's not like the future depends on them because the way that they're corrupting them and the way that they're to, Obama led a whole generation into the fruity world. And this new generation that Trump is leading into chaos, corruption, gang, leader, all this shit. Since he been in office the first time and this second time around, about the same stuff. We don't like the immigrants. We don't like the illegals. You have no real rights to be speaking on this topic at all. You have no real solid ground to even be standing on. for you to talk about anybody being an immigrant or an illegal, when in all actuality, everybody who's not this color is an immigrant. You're illegal. This was the only color in the first walking this earth. We the only people that can create other colors of people. I have a light skinned son myself. My whole point of this is you gotta really look in the mirror sometime, you know. They go into genealogy or 1, 2, 3 me and all of these things to figure out where they come from because they don't know. But if you were a child, you would know that God created this world and He created it for us to enjoy it and live abundant, right? And to be fruitful. Abundance of what we have, or the things that we have here, and not to be destroying, like the seeds that come in the fruits and different vegetables. Spirit within this man and what he got going on, as far as if you really look in the mirror, you should know without a doubt that you're here illegally as well. Your ancestors came over here on some genocide and some old, what they call it, y'all, squatting. You look at the hospital buildings, you look at the post office, you can look at the Secretary of State building, all of these buildings, right, that's been here since way before time. That's why they say established this day or founded this day, because that was the day that they started squatting and made this building for what it is. You know, it probably was used for other things, of course. And when they realized that some of the places, these places, demonic places, to know what's happening and their ties to the what spirits they're attached to, they just demolished the whole because they can't fight the supernatural, they can't explain it, and it's not helping them with their advancing of their plans. Just like y'all all see Stranger Things, the building that's going on and the place that's taking, it's a real actual place. They're ready to demolish. They're doing it like what, this year, next, I don't know. But the thing about the building is it's filled with paranormal activity, so many experiments, and the whole place is just a dark spot now that they can't really function for the public or for themselves. You know, if they could function at them themselves, they would keep that building in motion and they'd keep on servicing out of the building. But when it gets to that point where they're dealing with stuff that they can't control, that's when they just demolish it, shut it down, and they leave the land vacant. This is my theory, though. I'm not saying this is to be fact. And I haven't checked anything, but I got a lot of common sense, way more than a lot of people have. And I just, you know, put two and two together. Like I know language, I know how to converse, communication very well, I know how to express myself, and I know how to feel what I'm going through, different things like that. It's crazy. It's just to be what's going on in this world and the stuff that people be entertained by. Like, oh, let's get the Mexicans. Let's first figure out who really not supposed to be here. But that's being petty, you know. A lot of us not even like that. We don't think like that. When we had black neighborhoods and black businesses, we had Asian people, we had his all type of people. If they wanted to be within the neighborhood of what we had going on when separation was around, it wasn't just neighborhoods of black people. So that's something that people need to realize and understand once you're thinking about blacks and how blacks rotate, colored people, Negroes, whatever you want to consider yourself, however you want to call us, you know, because we're the only culture of people, the only race of people that's like this with our identity. The devil loves to play with black men and women and confuse us of our identity. But at the end of the day, if you don't tap into your creator, you will always be confused and you'll always be a part of this messy and who's immigrant and who's ISIS and who this and who has children, unless you're not, because not all of us are, and that's just facts. I always post this thing on my reels lately, like a man from the hold on real quick, because I don't want to misquote this. Plus, I was working on a little reel right there. I was gathering different little stuff that I need to prove my point. And also, I've been cleaning up my page too. Like a lot of y'all on Facebook be on some old weird shit. Like the bitches on here talk about, oh, niggas broke, they ain't paying for me. You got to get the fuck on. Like I don't want to hear that shit. And vice versa, like if y'all posting up silly little stuff like that, like even if you just playing, like, hey, if that's how you think and that's the type of shit you entertain, bye bye. I don't want that type of shit coming across my page with people like that. Like I ain't engaging in that type of energy, and I don't want that shit to be distracting me. And then people be like so clueless of what they're doing. I mean, you want attention, yeah, that's cool, right? But not all attention is good attention. Once you put yourself out there a certain way, that's who you are. You're stamped. People don't give a fuck about you changing. They know you for what you is and what you attracted them to, right? Like a lot of buses on here, people never look at me with respect. First, you disrespected yourself by being that half naked, and secondly, you teach people how to respect you. If you're going to have no morals and no values on how you're going to be presenting your own self, this is what you invite into your life, like stuff like that. People be like, "Oh, hey, man." No, she probably in the back. I heard somebody back there. It's like this, right? If you see a little cat growing up around dogs, that cat gonna be a big dog. It's gonna be acting like one. It's going to one, just like us in America. You put us here. You didn't put us here. When you start, being in a position of power as far as the law, authorities, the government, and you pushing this rhetoric about we need a census because y'all need to know that you black. You need to know you African American. Y'all need to know that you could do this, that you can't do that. Y'all need to know that as a nation, now y'all involved, to help run this country. We'll lock you up if you don't want to work. Because that's what's going on nowadays. That's the big play. That's the breaking news. And that's why they're doing this, reclassifying marijuana, because now a lot of people are waking up. They're not silly going to jail for stuff anymore. Seeing vibrating quality traits of love, which is patience, kind. Back to what I was just showing y'all. About fruits. You go to an apple tree, you don't get no apple from it. You gonna know, oh, this not an apple tree. Even a blind man to know that. When he go pick from a tree, he'll know what tree that is from the fruits that it bear. And why do I say this? Because that's how you man is by the fruits that he bear. Say he believe in God, but he doing all his demonic activity. I mean, come on. That man's a demon. It say you will know them by their fruits. Do men gather grape bushes or figs from thistles? This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 16 through 20. We're not being led by a man of God. That's basically all that I'm saying. And they're trying to put these laws in order so that people could give them some free work. They need people to work these situations. They got AI doing a little bit, but at the same time, they need manpower. They need human beings to actually teach AI how to be AI. Like I got AI myself, and I learned how to create props. Google Essentials. They give free courses on Google, and also on I think what was else? I forget where I took my courses from. I got my certifications, but Google they give free classes and stuff like that too. But they pay. Like if you ain't, people don't even pay for the products and services that I have. So it is be looking for free shit, but a lot of people don't spend their time being my time and money on education. I'm learning. I pay to learn stuff. I pay for like spend thousands of dollars even working on my credit. Like I don't mind bettering myself. Whether these people gonna help me or not, it don't matter. But what does matter is what I learn. And I don't like being around people that sword like pencils. If you're a butter knife, you can't do nothing but dull me down. So I like to sharpen my sword with other sharp-minded people. Anybody could be a sharp mind if you think for yourself. That's all it takes. Quit worrying about what the world say, what the world believe, because the world gonna change their beliefs at all times. As soon as a little information contradicts what they believe. That's why I don't believe in God. I don't believe in nothing at all. I either know it for a fact or I don't believe it. That's just that. I know God for myself. I know Jesus is real. I don't have to believe in none. That's just basically my point, you know. And, yeah, when people like, hey, you want to talk about Jesus? Nah. What do you know of Jesus? You need to know what you believe and don't believe. I don't give a fuck, you know. You're gonna have to meet Jesus for yourself and tell Jesus why you're every time I talk about Jesus, it's like, yeah, we can't hear that on here. That's the same reason TikTok blocked my page because I don't see no other reason. When I start reading from my book, next thing I know, people telling me, "Hey, I ain't see you on TikTok." I don't know why. I didn't do anything different than what I've been doing all year long. 52 weeks of the year. I'm on down to my last 2 weeks. My last week actually of doing what I said I was gonna do. And while doing this, I've been having so many resistance, so much slippery trails and tribulations in the uphill battle, you know. Just seeing what just happened, how my stuff just cut off randomly. As soon as I say Jesus a few times, no explanation on why my TikTok account was taken down, why my money wasn't sent to me, you know, like shit like that. I spent time creating a whole platform, not the platform, but the situation that I had. Anything, it takes time to learn these things and it takes time to implement them as well. And I was spending a lot of time the end of last year and a few months into this year got monetized. It didn't take long because I'm passionate about what I do. So I was doing it so much and I'm still doing it, but not just on that platform anymore because I don't have time to waste, right? And if they don't want to know about Jesus on that platform, then forget them. I did what I could do. And hopefully somebody was able to hear what I had to say about Jesus and they was able to keep the message going, you know? It's the living water. Once you give somebody a taste of the real truth, they be so happy and they go tell their testimonies to everybody. A lot of y'all are not hungry for God because you're snacking on sin. And that's the only reason why. You can't dibble and dabble serving two masters. I'm not saying that you have to be perfect to come to Christ, because Christ not looking for you to be perfect. He know you a sinner. He know you fucked up. He know that you need him. That's why he created us to depend on him. But if we don't depend on him, we depend on each other who don't even have the common sense to go to God. We depend on people that we put too much faith in this world and in these worldly things and these worldly minded people. That's why everybody, not everybody, but you know, majority of the world so easily disappointed, so easily manipulated, so easily tricked. I really want to play this video of Macaulay Culkin, but I don't want to be holding y'all too long. But we is finna get into it a little bit. I want to know what happened to him. Grew up watching him too, like Home Alone. Uncle Buck, I believe, was the first movie. They was just going through a little bit, so I'm a little bit aware of some of his information, but not all. I'm not speaking on facts that I know. I'm going off of memory base of what I just heard prior to me doing this situation. But he did disappear though. But growing up, I grew up in the '80s. I mean the '90s. I was born in the '80s, late '80s. I grew up in the '90s, so I knew about Rugrats, Doug, shit like that, right? Power Rangers. So when I grew up as a toddler, right, the things that I went to was Sesame Street. We had Lamb Chop. This was stuff that helped us learn, like you know, for people that wanted to learn. But nevertheless, this was available for us. Like again, I say Sesame Street, Lamb Chop, Mister Rogers' Neighborhood. We had Barney. I used to love watching Barney. That was my favorite go to. I ain't ashamed to say it like shit. I learned a lot about Barney, how to be a friend. Some of y'all don't know how to be a friend. You don't even know how to be a friend to your own self. You know, a lot of y'all treat yourself so wrong. Last year was about mental health and self-care and stuff like that, right? And that led a lot of people into witchcraft and crystals and jewels and all of this nonsense that people got to go keep in their pockets and purses and whatever, right? No, no, no. It started off good and it was manipulated and twisted to something bad. A lot of y'all are not even aware or don't even know that a lot of these objects and items carries spiritual energy, and some of them have been trapped inside because they causes so much chaos. You might sound, you might say I sound crazy, but just look at the Annabelle doll, right? Prime example of how these spirits are being to these objects and things. You might think it's a little crystal, it's a little doll. Hey, it's more than what you think when stuff start going wrong and your life start twisting upside down. And you listen to them people tell you, oh, just go try this crystal, go do that, right? These people don't know. That's why you're in the situation you're in now because these people don't have God. God would never tell you to go pick up something to get power. He'd tell you to pray and leave it unto me, and I got you. You see miracles happen. A miracle is just something that we can't fathom to understand. So therefore, it's a miracle, right? Because if you understood, if you can explain what you've seen, what you've experienced, you really couldn't find the words to do so. Therefore, you categorize as a miracle. Miracles happen every day, B. You don't know how you got up this morning, but it's by the grace of God. It's a miracle that you were allowed to have this present day, this present experience. I lost my holiday spirit a long time ago. I hate this time of year so much. And I hate that I hate it, but it is what it is. It's just how I feel, you know. But I try not to be a Debbie Downer, you know, people having joy and whatever they get from it. It's just my spirit has been gone from it so long and I just try to get through it. Like I really hate this time of year. I hate Christmas. I hate it all. Just being honest. And I hate that I'm that way, but it is what it is. I've been working on this year after year and I'm getting a little bit better, I guess. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But I'm aware of how I feel about it and I'm aware of how it affects me and I'm aware of that. And I just try to be, you know, keeping my mind on good spirits because it's not for me to be in my feelings to down other people and rain on their parade. This is the reason. The season is this season the reason why we're celebrating this Jesus' birth. You know, and that's what I'm happy about that Jesus did come and that the people that was before him they was patient enough, they was persistent enough, they kept their faith, they were holy people. They choose to stand out, be different than the world, choose to be spiritually equipped, you know, having spiritual knowledge, not just worldly knowledge, like out of the priests and a lot of the higher up people did, you know, the rabbis or whatever. Those are the people I'm talking about who have worldly knowledge of worldly things and know how to manipulate the world to their advantage, why they use alchemy and different forms of magic, right? Like Pharaoh and Nebuchadnezzar, they was using different magic, different dead people to come help them do different things. It's called necromancy. When you consult the dead, this is something that the Lord forbids us to do. But anyway, Jesus came because the people that was following God's word, they didn't need to go to no fortune teller. They didn't need to go to anybody of this world to interpret their dreams because they had knowledge of the Holy Spirit. They had divine wisdom. So some stuff they were just enlightened to know, just like the Illuminati, the Freemasons. They want you to think they're enlightened, which they are to a point, but not more enlightened than God. You know, they can't put you in a righteous situation as far as the knowledge they give because they told you how to create bombs, how to destroy yourself. They teach you all of the things that's going to put you in a situation where you need God to recreate that created situation. And what I mean and what I'm getting at and why I'm saying all this is because God speaks to us and he's always trying to speak to us. And when he was speaking to Mary and Joseph, he told Joseph that he was going to have a baby with Mary, that the baby's going to be important, woo woo, whatever, right? Basically, he had insight, he had knowledge. He was enlightened that he had a mission to do, and he was obedient to God's voice and God's call, and therefore Jesus came about. Imagine if he was disobedient like a lot of us. He was like, yeah, whatever, I ain't trying to have no kids, like a lot of niggas do. And they run off on the women, leaving the women with kids to take care of. That could have been a situation as well. Or this man, he could have went and had a baby with somebody else, and therefore Jesus would have came through a different bloodline. The whole story would be different, right? But the matter of the fact is that these people was following God's voice, God's calling, and therefore the whole nation has someone to save them. And therefore the whole nation has people to save them like Jesus continuously do, the people that hear God's calling, right? You wonder like what people am I talking about? The people that created traffic lights, the people that created peanut butter, the people that created like what's his name? The dude just passed away that Nipsey Hussle was doing a documentary about Dr. Sabi. Not the people, but God that created Dr. Sabi, and Dr. Sabi created different methods and stuff to heal people from the sickness of this world. Just stuff like that, right? He was doing God's business. I'm not sure if he was or wasn't. I don't know the man, but I know what he was doing was a good thing for the world. The world could benefit in a positive way from it. Just like, people had that sacred knowledge and they shared with the world so that the world could benefit. Like who knew you can get oil from aloe vera and different little things like that, like certain little insights, right? This is the power of following Christ and being different from the world. You can actually benefit off of being different from the world. It sets your family up for generational wealth just by being obedient, being enlightened by the Holy Spirit. Like imagine if you was the one that created peanut butter, now it's being sold worldwide, and all you did was use nature and figure out what to do with it and put it in a jar, right? Simple little things like that. It sounds so simple, but it's divine knowledge, divine wisdom that God has placed in you to help you be who you need to be and do what He needs you to do. When we're blessed through others and we're blessed for others. In the same way as when we're cursed, we're cursed through others and we curse hurting others. Like, let me give you a prime example, right? Like when God blessed that man with the knowledge on how to make peanut butter, that was something that not only blessed him, but the other people around him. And now when people choose to do worldly things like what they say, unalive somebody or blow up stuff or create arson, not create it, but commit arson, that's a selfless thing. I mean, a selfish thing. That's selfish. You're not only hurting other people, but now you're hurting yourself once you get locked up and your family hurting behind that, your loved ones, it's a negative trickle effect. The world is at peace, the world is still until we make an action, and that action ripples out. Just like when you throw anything in the water, you have a ripple effect. Ain't no telling how far that ripple goes. Sometimes we're able to see how far the ripple goes, and sometimes we're not. That's what every action that you take in this world, it has an effect on those around you. And to not be conscious, to not be aware, it's basically to be dead and to be used, to be a floater, a drifter in life, to be used by those who have the strings to put attached to you and have you do as they please. Because like I said, we help to be blessed or we help to be cursed. It's no selfish thing. It's no selfless thing. It's just the way that the world is because we are all one creation. Like I was talking about with our leader, right? This is the way that I think. And if I was to follow a godly man like me, I would hear him speaking in similar ways that I think. I wouldn't hear him always talking about ISIS or over here bombing them or doing this and doing that, right? Everything that he does, everything that he says is about separation. It's to the point where he don't even know which way to go himself because he's reading papers that who knows who wrote this stuff. But they all got his back. No, they all on his back. Like, yeah, keep playing, right? And that's the way that I look at it. Like, these are the puppets. I mean, these are the masters. Not sure whose strings on who, but they all got their strings on this man sitting down. And he's sitting there reading a big ass packet about what they said they want him to say. Only reason he knew one of them niggas was in there with him because he seen the name on there. It ain't like he speaking from what he feel or what he know. He like, oh, dude, name he over here somewhere. He know all them people behind him. These people not dumb. They know who got the strings on them. They know who run the show. Whether they go take the fall or not, like Diddy, I believe it was just his time to take the fall because Epstein got caught. I'm not even sure how he got caught, which I don't even care because everything's gonna come to the light eventually. All of this nonsense that people think they're getting away with, you only got so much time. That's why I don't be worried about the get back. People like they rolling into that negative way of thinking. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. It don't matter what Diddy did. It's not 50 job to persecute this man. And for everybody that's following up behind that energy, y'all all heading down that same route. When you need someone to stand up and have your back, just like Kong, King Combs, no matter if he was a street nigga or not, like anybody talk about your parents, you ought to be defending them and respect people that brought you in this world, no matter who this other person is, right? And I feel him on that, like y'all attacking this man's parents. You should have love for your parents, no matter what they do or what they don't do. Have a respect for your parents as years to your life. So don't be a fool thinking that you can disrespect your parents. Now I'm talking about parents. I'm not talking about elders. You'll be around a bunch of old fools, and you need to check them, or you need to just separate from them because, like I say, they're old fools. Nothing good going to come from entertaining their nonsense or engaging with their energy draining type of behavior. But you got to be aware though, because not every adult is mentally there, right? Not every adult carries consciousness. That's why you have so many adult predators. Um, Molding these children the wrong way. That's why these churches now coming out with all this pedophilia stuff is these adults in their wicked ways. And they putting up the whole don't disrespect the elders. That's true to a point. It is true. Respect goes a long way. The major way to win battles is to not even fight at all, not even to get to the point. But nevertheless, like by all means necessary, protect yourself. And don't let people play with you because they will. People have nothing to do. These are the people with no purpose in life. They have time for shit like that, right? Like when you really living in purpose and you living your passions, you don't have time for that extra shit. It's energy draining nevertheless, and it's in the low vibrational act. All the things that are low vibrational, y'all hear me talk about the vibes all the time, but these vibes are energy sources. Just like you could be happy, but there's levels to happiness. Are you ecstatic? Are you full of joy? Are you just happy? There's levels to it. There's different energies that exert to that. Just like I say, low vibrationals, right? Are you angry? You mad? You want to commit violence? These are low vibrational. You want to steal? You're jealous. You're lacking confidence. You have no trust in yourself. These are things that people should be thinking about. Just should be asking themselves. Am I vibrating low right now? Am I on a low vibrational path, journey? What's going to come from this low vibrations? But the things that come with it, right? Just like when somebody happy, that's contagious. You could be around somebody just having a really good time, and all of a sudden you either mad or you happy as well. And it works vice versa. Somebody could be mad and they want to come around you, and all of a sudden you irritated because they irritated. And you go irritate somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like misery loves company. And people that's happy, you should be wanting to celebrate with them because when you're achieving your goals, accomplishing new tasks, achieving new heights, you will want somebody to celebrate you. So that's just what that is. Practice celebrating others so that you can be happy and have people to practice celebrating you. You got to be the change that you want to see in the world, and that's so true. I see this all the time in probation officers, deaths, and you know what? Like you got to have some type of reminder on who the fuck you is and what you living for. Because if not, you'll be distracted by this world, and this world will tell you exactly who you is and exactly what you need and exactly what you want. Just like it's Christmas time, the world's telling us we need trees in our house, we need lights, we need songs. This amplified the season, the reason for the season, which isn't bad at all. But at the end of the day, like, don't get too wrapped up in idol worship because a lot of y'all do this, and a lot of y'all be inviting these spirits in your homes. Don't go picking up any and everything, getting wrapped up in it, because that's how y'all end up bringing objects to your house that are demonic, that are possessed, and that's gonna turn your shit upside down. Take that joy and swip it upside down to a frown. I know a lot of witches on YouTube talking about different little stuff. And what's crazy is that I always thought that they was powerful, which I fear no man or woman to know anything, especially being a child of God. I have moments where I'm frightened but never afraid. And like it is what it is. It's a moment of fright. But I'm not afraid of what's going on because I have power. So yes, it catches me off guard, but I'm not sitting here in terror. Even the devil himself, like he'll come and get on your ass, and he's just like fear in the flesh. Sometimes you can't even see. It's just like you feel a heaviness in the room. It's kind of like if you're being smoked out, you're being choked by the smoke. That's how heavy he comes in. That's how you feel him, but you don't see him. But you know it's real without a doubt. Same way when God come in, it's a lighter feeling, and it's just like it's the total opposite. I've had both experiences before. Once when I had lost my sister and I was in jail and I was grieving and doing time and whatnot. But I had this experience where I don't really know what to call it or how to explain it. But all I know is that everybody was in a trance. We would sleep. I woke up and then, which was kind of weird because there's never a silent night in jail, county or whatever. But and it's because people be up talking shit all night and they can't get nobody mad. They gonna do this shit all night until somebody blow up. And once that somebody blow up, everybody happy. They go to sleep. And it says that in the Bible too. The enemy can't sleep unless he destroys somebody else. I believe that's in Deuteronomy. And I was just sitting there reading my Bible and looking at these demons and how they move. It's not flesh and blood, but I see what spirits using these people that drift, and engage in this type of activity. And I see it clear as day. Like here go the devil, here go his peoples, and this is exactly what they doing, exactly what God said, and I see it for what it is. So that's why I was shocked when I woke up and everybody was sound asleep, because the devil be up all night. Devil got energy like a motherfucker to be on bullshit. He don't stop. He got time for it. He been doing this shit all his life, eternity, eons and eons, thousands and thousands of years. One day is like 1,000 years. He'll fuck up your whole generation if you let him. And a lot of y'all are so tied into this demon behavior, this demonic cult activity that you are already locked in. Other generations of your children is locked in. Just like y'all, you Greek, you pledge. Hell no, don't ask me that shit. I'm not pledging my life or my family life for none of them to these, uh, what they call them, pagan gods, Greek god, whatever y'all worship, whatever y'all call these things. I'm not fucking around with it. But anyway, so when everybody sleep, it's like, damn, what's going on? I'm shocked because this is something new to me. I'm like, in my reality, my experience of being here, I've never had one night of peace like this. And then while I'm thinking about that, like I see the guard, he sleep. I'm like, this is getting weird. So I'm just trying to focus on him and everything that's going on because I'm like, they must be tired tonight. Then all of a sudden, from my peripheral, I'm seeing the roof gone. So I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Now I'm thinking about escaping, but all of these thoughts thinking coming through my mind because I'm like, I had a chance to get up out of here. Now I'm thinking like, where would I go and my consequences, all of this stuff, right? I didn't have long to think about it because everything was changing within the blinking of an eye. Every time I blink, something new is happening. The next time I blink, I'm up above the building, so far up above the building, I'm looking down at Earth, and I'm like, what the fuck? But I'm not scared though. Like I'm up. I don't remember if I was in my body or not, but I'm feeling everything and I'm seeing everything and I'm just one with the universe. I'm seeing stars fly past and different little shit, like a real space movie, which was crazy. I never forget how I felt and what I saw. But anyway, I'm steady floating up. I'm being elevated to the sky. So I'm guessing I'm on top of the dome at this point because I'm standing on straight blackness. And this I can feel. So I'm knowing it's not a dream and I'm knowing this is something that I can't explain. So as I'm standing on solid ground, solid blackness, like I'm standing on the universe. The universe is a floor, a black floor, see through. And like I told you, like I could feel the presence come from my back, my right side, like over here, he coming from right here is something big. And I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like I feel something coming. And I'm floating already, but this now I'm on solid ground. Whatever this is, like I can't even imagine what this is. Because I've had paranormal experiences and stuff like that. The devil come, sleep paralysis. This is similar to that. But when they come, he like trying to take your life. So this is more of a panic situation when this going on, and you can feel the presence of this entity, whatever it is, and it's fearful. It's like fear in the flesh. So me only having those experiences to this point, I'm thinking this is one of those things, and he just pulled me up. Now he finna fuck me up. So I'm like, damn, I don't even want to see what this thing look like because the other things that I've seen, they're not a pretty sight to look at. It's pretty scary to be honest. But like I said, I could be frightened but not afraid. So I'll be in that frightful moment but not afraid because I'm after the battle right now. The only thing I could do when I felt the thing coming, I just got on my knees and I was like, damn, like if you finna kill me, then like shit, let's get this over with. Let's just hurry up because I don't know what's gonna happen. Whatever. But oh no, you good. Go ahead, go you. You come.
Oh, here.
You go. I wait.
No.
Good looking though. Oh yeah, you got a big one. That is big as hell like this.
Yeah, that's the one I was saying. Like, they ain't had it too.
Oh, this your ID.
Oh, I'm tripping.
All right. So yeah, I get on my knees and I'm just looking down at the universe like, damn, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna go on. But every time I had this experience, it's not a good one. And so the angel come around, he like, get up, Aaron. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm like, all right. Hold on, y'all. Hello. Oh yeah, well you over there. I'm in the garage. I'm finna come out. Yeah, I feel you. You want me to bring the laptop? I'm trying to watch the game. I bet. Uh, So yeah, this angel, he told me, he's like, Aaron, get up. I'm not here to hurt you. So I got up. And then when I stood up, it wasn't dark anymore. Because I'm telling you, like I was in the universe. Everything dark. You just see the earth flat. You see all of this, everything moving. And then this bright light, really, really bright. So bright. I can't even really see his figure, but I know he's huge. I'm standing like right at his ankle at this point. He's that tall. And I'm only like standing up to his ankle. Under his legs, because under his legs was my sister came out. And we talked for a bit. And she was just I forgot what we talked about, but she calmed my spirit. She let me know she was all right. And we're just happy about that. That's what really this time of year is be hard. Because I do miss my sister and we used to talk about God a lot and I think that she had those experiences before and she shared with me. So yeah, breaking news. Don't trust the government. I'm just playing. For entertainment purposes only because they already be on my ass about me talking about Christ and I'm not going to stop. So whatever comes with it, it is what it is. If you don't live for Christ, you could die with this world. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. I'm not falling for the trickery of this world. This world cannot do anything good for me, but promise me empty promises.